attitude, okay? That's who he was talking about. I just want to say that.
All right, Dane, two-part question for you, Dane. First part, I remember seeing you on Soul Train. Of course, as many, I was a big fan of Soul Train. And JP, who was actually I guess his position would have been the manager of Idol Makers. He's out here somewhere, my good brother JP. Yeah, he told me some behind the scenes about that Soul Train episode, and I think Herbie, you were the DJ, his DJ at the time. But you were on stage that's what I mean, right? So two-part question. How was Don Cornelius to you? How was the show? Because that was an iconic show for all of us. And the other question is about Clark Kent, your DJ, the late Clark Kent. Tell me about the kind of man he was, kind of person he was, even back then as your DJ. But the first part is the Soul Train experience.
Shout out to JP. Got the original Dane t-shirt from the first Wipeout tour. 87, that's 87. But being on Soul Train was incredible. At the time, me and Herbie used to perform together all the time, It was like, he was my right-hand man on stage, because we clicked as, not only in the studio, but as brothers. We were just rocking, and we did a song together. It was the women. Yeah, we had something in common, the women. But and fashion though as well, as well as fashion. Being on Soul Train was an incredible experience. Don Cornelius was a different type of character at the time, he had built up this machine, as you could say. So I'm just a new artist coming on there, just happy to be there, And he treated us well for the most part, When we got on stage, he asked us a couple of questions, and he actually spoke to each one of us, which was really cool. A lot of times he just speaks to the lead person, but he went around and spoke to everybody in the group, so I thought that was cool. I had another run-in with the whole Soul Train thing with me and JP. I got nominated for a Soul Train Award that year as well, against Heavy D, LL Cool J, a couple of others, I think Kumo D, but LL won it that year. So we went to the after party, me and JP, my manager, that I was nominated for, just me and him, and we get to the door, and Don Cornelius is there with his son, and I got invited to the party, and he's like, okay, you can come in, but he can't. I said, he's my manager, it's just one person. He's like, no. So basically, I was from Fort Greene, Brooklyn, 21, so I cursed Don Cornelius and his son out, told him, F you, nobody gives a damn. Y'all ain't doing this ain't about, I'm out. Yeah, I went on. I went total Fort Greene. I was ready. Right, JP? We was about to fight. But we just left, though. We left. And then look, the crazy thing is, when I left, I got in the limousine with Actor 7, the baby faces. He said, man, you can't let him get to you, bro. You got to be big in this moment, man, because you never know. I said, fuck him. But now Clark Kent, just moving on to Clark Kent, I met Clark Kent in 1986 when I first went to perform for the first time, one of the first times at Washington Irving High School on 14th Street, Manhattan. And I didn't have a DJ at the time, actually, so he dropped the record for me. And all he did was drop the record Nightmares for me, and we went on about our business, but I could tell he was dope just watching him spend that night. So fast forward a year later, I needed a DJ, and I remembered him, and I reached out to him. So the thing about Clark is, man, he's a perfectionist, you know what I mean? I call him, because he's tall, 6'4", 6'5", I call him the Magic Johnson of the turntables, man, because he's tall and he got all the tricks. He's an incredible technician on the turntable. They give Jazzy Jeff, Cash Money, DJ Scratch, and Richie Rich, but Clark Kent is right there with them. He was right there with them in that regards. And then later on, he just became a great, just all-around DJ and a producer. And another funny story about Clark Kent is that he wanted to produce on my second album, which I should have let him, but I didn't know no better. But he had never produced anything. So me and Herbie looked at him like, not on this album. But then look, how big a mistake is that? He went on and produced the Troop joint. That could have been my beat, you know what I mean? So shout out to Clark Kent. He never let anything get him down. He always said, oh, you told me no? I'm gonna get it done this way over here. And that was always his character. So I love Clark Kent. And he always, you know, have a special place in my heart as a friend, as a DJ, and as hip hop. So I love the DJ Clark Kent.